A joint parliamentary committee cleared the Waqf Amendment Bill with 14 changes to the draft. The committee, set up to study the amendments, has had several meetings, but many have ended in chaos after the opposition MPs had accused the chair, who was BJP's Jagadambika Pal, of bias. The next meeting of the JPC on voting will take place on 29th of January. The report is likely to be presented to Lok Sabha Speaker before the 31st of January. The next meet of JPC, opposition MPs may give dissent note on amendments that were passed earlier today.
Joined by Shiv Sena MP Naresh Maske, who is also the part of the Joint Parliamentary Committee. Sir, आज की बैठक में क्या कुछ हुआ? 44 अमेंडमेंट्स बताए गए थे, विपक्ष लेकर आया था, सबको रिजेक्ट कर दिया गया. क्या कुछ टेक्निकलिटीज़ हैं?
देखो, विपक्ष 44 अमेंडमेंट नहीं लेके आया था. ये 44 रिजोल्यूशन है ये विधेयक में. ठीक है. जो 44 पॉइंट्स है, वो 44 पॉइंट्स के ऊपर उन्होंने ऑब्जेक्शन लिया था. वो डिलीट करो, उनका कहने था. मीन्स पूरा सुधारना विधेयक को ही उनका अपोज था. वो हर एक पॉइंट्स पे उन्होंने ऑब्जेक्शन लिया था कि ये कलम तुम डिलीट करो, इसमें ये मत करो, वो मत करो. लेकिन उनका वो डिलीट हो गया, उनका वो वोटिंग हो गया, लेकिन वो रिजेक्ट हो गए. 44 जो कई कलम्स थे उसके ऊपर जो उन्होंने ऑब्जेक्शन लिया था, जो 44 सेक्शंस थे उन्होंने जो ऑब्जेक्शन लिया था वो रिजेक्ट हुआ. वो 44 में से 14 पॉइंट्स पे हम लोगों ने एडिशन किया है. ठीक है. कुछ सुझाव है, कुछ सबको हम लोगों ने यहाँ जो हमारे जो जेपीसी कमेटी बहुत से इंस्टीट्यूट को हम लोगों ने बुलाया था, उन्होंने कुछ सुझाव दिए थे, उन्होंने कुछ सजेशन दिए थे. वो उन लोगों ने ऐसे 14 जो पॉइंट्स है उन्होंने हम लोगों ने एडिशन किया. 14 सेक्शन में हम लोगों ने एडिशन किया, और वो भी जो एडिशन किया उसके लिए भी हम लोगों ने वोटिंग की. 16 वोट हमारे बाजू से गिरे, उनके खिलाफ 10 वोट मिले. उन्होंने जो रिजोल्यूशंस जो सेक्शन पे ऑब्जेक्शन लिया था उनमें भी वोटिंग की, उनके खिलाफ 16 वोट्स मिले और सिर्फ बाजू से 10 वोट्स मिले.
क्या कह सकते हैं कि आज की आखिरी बैठक अब खत्म हो गई है? अब जो 29 को अगली बैठक बुलाई गई है उसमें वोटिंग होगी, पास होगा और फिर आप अडॉप्ट कर लेंगे?
आज तो जो कि 44 जो सेक्शंस है वो तो मंजूर हो गए. 14 उसमें सेक्शंस वो एडिशन के साथ परसों पूरी रिपोर्ट बनेगी और रिपोर्ट फाइनल हम लोगों ने मंजूर होंगे.
Whatever that they have fixed, they have done it. They didn't allow us to speak anything. No rules, no procedure has been followed. Started clause by clause discussion. We said, let us discuss clause by clause. First, let us discuss. Jagadambika Pal did not allow to discuss at all. Then he brought the amendment motion. Amendment motion, we have not allowed to speak at all in the amendment motion. Our amendments have been rejected, and their amendments have been allowed.
So they started creating a ruckus, and the entire opposition team was led by Sri Kalyan Banerjee ji, which was highly unfortunate. And we know how they have been conducting themselves in the past so many number of months. Almost 6 months have passed, and this particular bill has been really deliberated upon very extensively, very thoroughly. And this particular committee had also gone to a couple of states for hearing the organizations which have not been able to come to Delhi. So I think the entire procedure has been done in a very democratic manner. The chairman handled the entire issue with a lot of patience, lot of humility.
विपक्ष ने भी एक संशोधन दिया था और विपक्ष ने सभी 44 संशोधन दिया था. हमने एक एक संशोधन मूव कराया और उस संशोधनों को हमने पुट टू वोट किया. लेकिन वोटिंग में उनके पक्ष में 10 वोट था और उसके नेगेटिव में 16 वोट थे. इसलिए जो विपक्ष के द्वारा या उन लोगों के द्वारा जो 44 संशोधन के विरोध में थे, मैं विपक्ष क्यों कहूँ, जो 44 संशोधन के विरोध में उन्होंने कुछ दिए थे वो मतलब टर्न डाउन हो गया.
Chairman directed all the documents should be supplied to the members within 7 days. That 7 days has not been completed. Documents are not submitted to us. We are not able to peruse the documents. Without perusing the documents, without going the veracity of the evidence, how can you go for class by class consideration? We resisted, but on the contrary, he moved himself on our behalf, our amendments. Our amendments were moved by the chairman, and head counts were done by him. An announcement was done by him, it is negative. So he is a mover, he is a counter, he is an announcer. Such a mockery held today.
Well, my colleague Aishwarya joins me for more on the story. He's been on the ground. Aishwarya, in the next JPC meet, the opposition MPs may give dissent note on the amendments that were passed today. What were the dissents you heard from them when you were interviewing them?
Well, remember the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 was first sent to the Joint Parliamentary Committee on 9th August 2024, and the first meeting was on 22nd of August 2024. Since then, there were several rounds of meetings that took place with the stakeholders, with the state Waqf boards and all of those organizations who had given suggestions for the amendment that are required for the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. We have been told that at least 92.28 lakh suggestions were also received from the public, and the total hours, the duration of these discussions lasted for almost 112 hours. It was today the 36th meeting of the JPC, and today was the day when the clause by clause amendment was on the agenda. There was 44 sections that the opposition MPs had opposed to, and they wanted amendments to it, but it was outrightly rejected by the voting that was done today. 14 amendments were adopted with some additions, and 16 members of the JPC voted in favour, 10 were against it. The next meeting is scheduled on 29th of January, in which there will be voting that will be taking place, and the amended draft will be adopted, which finally will be submitted to the Lok Sabha Speaker. By 31st of January, this process will end, and finally the JPC chairperson will be submitting it to the Lok Sabha Speaker, and by the budget session part 1, we are expecting in all likelihood the government will be introducing the amended bill of the Waqf 2024 for consideration passing. The opposition parties clearly had been stating that they had got no time to read this. There were several amendments that were required for clause by clause consideration, but that was not went in their favour, and that got rejected. The opposition also leveled charges that because of the Delhi elections, they want to pass this bill before the Delhi elections, so that there could be some change in the momentum that the opposition parties are gathering. So all of these things will be done, but the sources have also indicated that opposition MPs will bring dissent note in the next meeting, as there were ruckus that was also seen today, and they clearly stated that JPC chairperson had been working in a very biased way since day one.
Aishwarya. Thank you very much for getting us that report. Let me also go over to our two guests at this hour. Ajay Alok, spokesperson of BJP, and Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson of SP. To Ghanshyam first, is the opposition okay with the amendments to the Waqf bill?
The way JPC has been run by BJP, and particularly by the chairman, Mr. Pal, is a master class in destructing the model of JPC, the democratic system of JPC. The BJP, right from the day one, had a dishonest agenda on the table. They did not have a single member from minority committee that they placed on the JPC. Members who barely understand the issue but had a clear agenda to ensure that JPC doesn't reach a democratic approach, rather than it can steamroll everybody, was adopted. And it is clear when Mr. Jagdambika Pal did his press conference or press release, he mentioned that not one amendment from opposition was accepted. He is communicating to people of India that only 240 MPs of BJP are intelligent people and everybody else is foolish. Well, you just have to look at the track record of BJP MPs. There, many of them have criminal charges. The degrees of people like Mr. Dubey, Nishikant Dubey, to understand that where the intelligence lies. So clearly, this JPC does not satisfy the country. It is a propaganda of BJP that will be called out.
Well, I'll come back to you, and I'll let Mr. Ajay Alok respond to your charges. And also, sir, why is there a lack of confidence in the chairman. Mr. Alok, the question is to you.
First of all, JPC is not a new thing happening to the parliament. It's a standard norm of the parliament to constitute a JPC, and to just ridicule a JPC is a ridiculing of parliament. So before speaking about any JPC, please always remember that it's a very respected committee of the parliament which needs to be respected by everyone, including the members or somebody outside, even the spokesperson, first of all. Second thing, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari doesn't know that there is a minority representation or not. Asaduddin Owaisi is the biggest representative of the minority in the JPC, who keeps on handling all the charges and all the frivolous allegations. Third thing, whatever the recommendations are there, everybody is there. They can put up their suggestion, and the JPC meetings have been taking place all across India in all major states and the state capital, and the suggestions are being asked and they are being discussed upon. And after a deliberate discussion, the JPC report will be submitted to the Speaker. So I don't think there should be any controversy on the
why is there a lack of confidence in the chairman?
There is no lack of confidence in the chairman. There is.
That's what the opposition has been claiming all this while.
There's a competition within the opposition, that they want to show to the minority committee that yes, we are more ahead in supporting Waqf. We are more ahead than Congress. We are more ahead than SP. We are more ahead than AIMM. In part of their competition, they are putting the blame and allegations on the chairman. The chairman is doing his job very nicely.
Okay, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, will you respond to that? Sajay Alok is saying there's a competition in the opposition.
I appeal to the common sense and citizen morality of your viewers. Is there a single member of parliament from BJP who belongs to minority in this JPC? What a sham that BJP wants to pull off when they want to voice an opinion regarding a matter of minority without having a single member from minority community. Second, is there a single amendment of opposition that was even entertained, accepted? What is this oracle of wisdom in a party where there are always questions about degrees of their own members of parliament, their educational qualifications, that they have the authority to come and say that they are the only oracles of wisdom with no life experience, no social experience, no transparency. The idea of ensuring that parliament doesn't voice people, but it voices the bunch of cronies that BJP wants to hand over assets of the country, whether it is land, votes or other things. So it is for the viewers to see. I appeal to their fairness that this is what BJP is trying to pull. It is destructing the democracy.
Perhaps the ruling party now has to find a common ground, and they will have to see how this matter can go forward. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on